You take a look at their starting 11. There's no Chiellini, no Bonucci, no Arthur, no Cuadrado, no Dybala, no Morata, all out with injuries, Gab. And I know Pirlo, speaking after the game, was asked about that and got a little bit prickly about it.
Yeah, he was asked about, why they set up defensively the way that they did, and he got into this whole discussion about could they have played a back four with this guy named Dragusin playing right back, and then on the debate, is Dragusin a right back, is he a center back? Why did you use Chiesa and Bernardeschi in those roles? And he says, well, those are their roles. It's a side of Pirlo we haven't seen. I mean, these are really, really silly comments, and it's a side of Pirlo we haven't seen at all. We very rarely see him lose his cool. He most definitely lost his cool, at least by Pirlo standards. I think it's frustrated because Juventus are playing really, really, really poorly. I know Verona, we've praised them before. They're a good side, Juric, all this stuff. But that first 45 minutes was horrible to watch. And after they took the lead, they played with fear. They didn't take the game to the opposition. And that's what Pirlo was supposed to be all about.
So, where's it gone wrong aside from the injuries? Well, according to Antonio Cassano, it started with the signing of Cristiano Ronaldo, saying Juventus signed him to win the Champions League, but they have had worse results since he arrived. They would have won Serie A titles also without him. It was the wrong project. For 120 years, winning was the only thing that mattered at Juventus. It is still an obligation, but they tried to change their skin with Sarri and Pirlo. Ronaldo has nothing to do with Pirlo's ideas. He will carry on scoring because he can do it even sitting. He cuts inside from left and can destroy the goal, and his headers are unique. Andrea wants to build the action from the back. He wants to press high on the pitch. Ronaldo can decide games, but he doesn't participate much. I think he did badly in these years unless they manage to win the Champions League. Matteo, what do you think?
I think Cassano actually makes some decent points there. They won 7 consecutive Scudetti without Cristiano Ronaldo. They went to the Champions League final twice and then realized they were missing that generational player like a Messi or a Ronaldo, who broke their hearts, by the way, in the last 10 years in the Champions League. So they go out, they spend more than 30 million euro net a season on the contract of Cristiano Ronaldo. The failure here has nothing to do with Ronaldo. He scored a goal a game. He's carried this team when no one else would show up. The failure is in the way that this team was built, that they went away completely from their DNA with Antonio Conte and Allegri, who are pragmatic managers, and especially Allegri, who can adapt to whatever the opposition's giving them, that they'll sit back if they need to. And they said, well, you know what? We're almost tired of winning this way. We want to play fun. We want to please the hipsters online, and we're going to bring in Maurizio Sarri, who feels like an awkward fit. You just see Sarri. He's not this stile Juve that people talking about, the Juventus style, the slickly dressed manager on the touchline. And then you have a chain-smoking Sarri coming in, who's kind of like this anti-establishment figure. And it was always awkward from the get-go. We didn't see this Sarri ball that really we've only ever seen in one place, and that was at Napoli. And the team around Ronaldo was simply built poorly. You look at the midfield and you see Rabiot, you see Bentancur, you see all these midfielders that should not have any part of starting for a team that has Ronaldo to win the Champions League. I mean, just look at the midfield units that Ronaldo had behind him at Real Madrid when they were winning. World-class players in every single department, in the defense, in the midfield especially, the players that are supplying the balls forward, the perfect striker in Karim Benzema, who is a facilitator for Ronaldo. Ronaldo has nothing to do with the failure. The failure comes from above, the way this team was constructed, this nonsense that this is a rebuild. The only rebuild that can happen is when Ronaldo's left. And they can send away Ronaldo, they can get rid of his 35 million, whatever, a year salary. That's when the rebuild happens. You cannot be in any sort of rebuild that is disrespectful to Ronaldo, a once-in-a-generation type player that you brought in for that one task, and you supply him with this team. It's nowhere near good enough, and it's another season wasted for a player that was supposed to resemble this Juventus that could finally get it done. I know you need luck. I know you PSG, the 5-year plan. It takes luck to win the Champions League, but this team is poorly constructed, end of.
Yeah, Gab.
I'm not going to disagree with the poorly constructed part. The reason they had to rebuild is because somebody's got to pay the bills, Matteo. It's not like there's a magic money tree out there. They took a colossal
because they're still paying Sarri's contract. And why is that? Because it was a poor hiring.
stop it with Sarri's contract. Sarri's a pauper. Obviously, appointing Sarri was incorrect, but Sarri's a freaking pauper compared to what Cristiano costs you. They brought in Cristiano. If you remember, they had 1 year with Allegri. I know there's a school of thought that says, well, if Allegri had only stayed, we would have a whole bunch of Champions League titles. Maybe, maybe not. It's not entirely clear why Allegri left. The fact of the matter is, they weren't good in Allegri's final season. They replaced him with Sarri, which was a colossal mistake. And now all of a sudden, they have to pay the piper because they've spent so much money. Cristiano, I think, it's really hard to assess how much he's worth in terms of actual dollars and cents. It's nearly impossible. But I think it's fair to say he's held up his side of the bargain. I agree with you, Matteo, about the players around him. But you know what? When you think you're clever, when you're like, oh, look, Aaron Ramsey's a free transfer. No, he's not. There's no such thing as a free transfer, or Emre Can, or Rabiot, or guys like this. There's a reason you're stuck with this. There's a reason why you extend Chiellini off into infinity when he plays one game last season. You end up, or you bring Bonucci back. You end up paying for this stuff. You end up paying for the ridiculous contract you gave Gonzalo Higuain. And I'm not going to start on Khedira where you had to pay him to go away, or Blaise Matuidi for that reason. Somebody in the front office thinks he's a lot more clever, and he's playing with like Panini stickers, and this season is the result of that. It's trying to remedy the damage that was done.
One thing you can hear they both agree on, Jurgen, is the fact that Ronaldo has kind of upheld his side of the bargain.
Listen, I think, the move from Cristiano Ronaldo to Juventus is a bigger picture move, or was, because it was a clear signal from the Serie A as an entire league, that they are serious to get back, to where they were in the 90s, the best league in the world. They did that big transfer with Cristiano, and he paid them back. He's performing, he's scoring goals. When now Juventus decided to make a change in his coaching approach, to make a change in his style they want to play in the future time, obviously there are some issues to discuss. Does Cristiano really fit into this type of a team? Is it ideal for Pirlo's ideas, how he wants to kind of build this new Juventus over the next couple of years? The quick question is, the management of Juventus, how much time do they give Andrea Pirlo to step by step modify all the little pieces in this puzzle that Matteo talked about, the individual pieces, to make it all happen? It's not going to happen overnight, definitely not. But they're still in the Champions League. And if they win 1-0, then they go through. They're still in the Coppa Italia final. So there's still a lot to play for Juventus. So I think, it's something that we cannot answer right now. Probably it takes 2-3 years to make just kind of to evaluate properly the work of Andrea Pirlo. I hope he gets the time.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.